Welcome, everybody. CJ the Smart Guy with you. And today I'm with a great guest. He is the founder of Coinda. He is the co-founder of the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. He is the co-author of Bitcoin and the American Dream. He came on the tour to Louisville. He also came out to Tulsa as well as to Miami. Man, a big mentor of mine, somebody I've been paying attention to since 2017. So appreciate you guys. And Lamar Wilson, appreciate you for coming on.
What's up, CJ the Smart Guy? You don't understand how excited I was to get on here, man. Yeah, like for real, man. I was hyped to get on here with you, brother. Like you are one of my favorite folks in the world. I don't usually say favorite, but I'm saying it about you, man. I can say you my favorite CPA. Now I'll say that off top. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, what's happening, man? What's going on?
Man, everything in my world. So I created this podcast so that people could understand the story, the backdrop of the whole tour, a little bit of background on my life, a bit of background of how you've influenced it. So last week I dropped Louisville, like the podcast, where basically it gave the perception of, okay, who's Lamar? How does he fit into my life? Because I know Black Bitcoin Billionaires, that was like December 2020 when I really got involved. And that was a crazy time period for everybody, I think. But yeah, so first, how did you get into Black Bitcoin Billionaires? Well, how did that start?
How did it start? Well, look, man, like you said, I started a group called Coinda on Facebook. And from Coinda, there was a gentleman in there who's a real good friend of mine, my man, Sean Swordsby. He was like, Lamar, you have got to get over to Clubhouse. I was like, Clubhouse? The heck is Clubhouse? He's like, you got to get over to Clubhouse. He said, it makes me feel like early Coinda, like you got that vibe where you come in and can educate people. He was like, Clubhouse is perfect for you. And I was like, all right, let me check it out. So at the time, I didn't even have a device, man. Like I didn't have an iOS device. You know, you had to have like an iOS device. I'm a Pixel guy. I use Google stuff. So I was like, all right, let me figure this out. So I take my niece's iPod Touch and I jump on Clubhouse. I get an account, I jump on Clubhouse. Man, I was like, okay. I was jumping in rooms and people were educating people. It's, you know, there's a bunch of good stuff going on, a lot of communication. And I was like, all right, I want to make a club. So I was like, let me hit up my man Zay and see if he wants to get down and see if he wants to try to do this little club with me. But it's really around a show called the Genesis Block.
Yeah.
And so I hit him up. I said, Zay, man, I said, Clubhouse is dope. Me and you've been doing this for a long time, like educating Black people in Clubhouse, like it's perfect for it. I was like, we should start a club called the Black Bitcoin Billionaire. Yeah. And he's like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? If anybody knows that, he's like, yeah, cool, let's do it. Yeah. So me and him started the Genesis Block. And we did that a few weeks in a row. And next thing you know, they gave us a club. And that was when clubs were exclusive. So you had to like apply and all of that stuff. So we wound up getting in real early on that. Shout out to Sean for hooking me up on the early train. And so then I went and bought me a little iPod Touch myself. And that's what I was on Clubhouse on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that was a special time. I know. So just as a time preference, I had passed my CPA exam February 2019.
Okay.
But because of COVID and because of them just taking a while, I didn't actually get my license until June 2020. So there was a long time period of just waiting. And you know, I'd been in the crypto space since 2017. When Dr. Boyce Watkins, he had said, hey, there's something about this crypto thing. Nipsey was talking about, hey, this crypto thing, and all roads led to you. So I was like, okay, well, this is the guy. So let me just pay attention and I'm gonna just take notes. So the same time I'm taking notes for the CPA, I'm taking notes for this cryptocurrency. And man, the struggle was real all the way up until December 2020, when all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's a platform where I can actually speak and express all the things I've been learning, all the notes I've been taking. Now it's valuable. It was like, oh, cool. And it's funny because the tax portion to it is really easy. Like, to be honest with you, like the hard part is learning taxes. That's what took 6 to 18 months to learn itself. But once I learned the crypto spot, the crypto taxes was just a small piece to it. So
yeah,
when I saw that opportunity on Clubhouse and people were like, what about crypto tax? I was like, let me go study this real quick. It took me less than a day. And I came in, I was like, okay, cool. I've got the background, so this is easy for me. So I'm forever grateful for you creating that club and that type of platform.
Oh yeah, man. The platform is what's powerful for me, because it's like, it gives us an opportunity. Because the thing about me and Zay, is that we've been in the game for a while, and I used to be one of the only speakers at a lot of conferences. You'll look around, there'll be no other Black people at the conference, Black women, Black men. The only Black people that be there will be like people that are helping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like people that are on the doors or whatever. And I remember one time I was speaking at this conference, and I was speaking about Bitcoin and blockchain, like just the technology. And I remember there was this guy at the back door, you know, kind of like a usher, maitre d' looking guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was back there at the back door, and I remember him just standing there smiling, like this the whole time I was talking. Right. And so I was seeing back there, you know, it made me feel good because I was looking in the room, wasn't to meet Black people in the room, period. But it was a good, you know, everybody else was giving me good vibes too. But I mean, just me seeing this big smile back there. So when it was over, like, you know, he waited, and then he came up to me and said, brother, I just gotta tell you, man, me seeing you up here talking to all these white people, man, it put a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like such a real interaction, because he probably was like, here's a whole room of suits, and here's this Black guy up on stage with these sandals on. You know what I'm saying? It was like a real, I always remember that. I'm remembering his face right now. It was just like the biggest smile. He was just back there like the whole time, just standing on the wall like, man, look at this. He didn't know, he probably wasn't paying no attention to what I was talking about or nothing. He was just like so enamored by the fact that I was sitting up there, right? And so what I realized is that a lot of times it's just really about representation. And that sometimes, like, if you're not going to be given a platform, you got to create a platform. And so my whole thing is that once I saw how Black Bitcoin Billionaires was growing, I said, I want to elevate everybody, right? And so, like, you know, I was like, CJ, let's put a class over on my university, so you can, you know, not only can you get paid from it, but you're going to educate a lot of people. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm always on. Like, if I'm eating and you rolling with me, I'm not going to sit here and watch you starve while I'm eating. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense at all. Matter of fact, I heard somebody say the other day, there's like, if you don't let people eat, if you don't allow the people with you to eat, then those forks and knives will be in your back. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Oh man, that was I get that one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense. It's like, if everybody's hungry and you don't let them eat with you, then them forks and knives will be in you. You know what I mean? So it's like, from my standpoint, and I never thought about it like that, because I'm always thinking about it from the other angle. I'm on the positive side, but that's also true, right? Because for me, it's just like, okay, if we're going to want to elevate people, we have to be intentional about it. And that's my whole premise, is the intentionality of reaching the marginalized.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point. It's not like people, it's not like they're intentionally discriminating. Like, people like, I don't want to talk to Black people. It's just that it's out of sight, out of mind. Right. So it's like, if you're in the margins, they tend to just, you know, not even, they zoom past you, like on the shoulder. But if somebody's intentional about, hey, let me get you in the game, then every person I find on the shoulder, if I can bring them into the game, now all of a sudden we got more of us riding in the fast lane. And so that's my whole premise, is like, the only way that you can ever reach the marginalized, the only way you can ever get rid of discrimination is not to fight discrimination. It's really just to be intentional about who is being discriminated against and bring them in the game. And so for me, that's always what it being. So Black Bitcoin Billionaire allowed it, and then allowed me to find somebody like you, who I didn't even know had been following me for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was in the background and now you're in the foreground, and you one of my, like I said, one of my favorite CPAs. I'll say that because I don't like to say favorite people. Somebody will come beat me up out of the blue. You ain't never said me on it, but so I'll say you my favorite CPA. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that's really, you one of my favorite folks, man. You got great spirit, great, what is it? Patience for educating people. And I like, and you're just a good people person, man. Everybody love you. I ain't met a person, period, that, like, think about this. How are you an accountant and everybody love you? Like, nobody loves accountants. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody walking around loving CPAs, but every person I've ever met loves you, man. And I'm glad that Black Bitcoin Billionaire provided that platform, and I hope it does it for a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. That was part of the intention. So, you know, I originally started going to accounting. I didn't really know what accounting was. So I was actually in school. I was on the phone. My dad gave me a call. He was like, hey, you know, there's some college recruiters at this comedy event. And he was like, get all the stuff we prepared already. It was at we had like a binder full of stuff, just documents and awards and stuff. He came back, he delivered it. Next, he was like, "Hey, you're going to Texas Southern University in Houston." I was like, I never heard of TSU. I was like, whose school is this? And,
Right.
I seen it was a black school. I was like, oh, to be quite honest with you, I didn't realize black people went to college. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but like in California, like they ingrain you to where it's like, if you don't go to school, like unless you play sports, you're not going to school,
Right.
like in college, because there's no HBCUs in California. So I was like, okay, cool. I didn't even realize like black people even play baseball. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna play baseball in the South, and it's gonna be cool. And so for them to even just come out there as a college recruiter, I understand them trying to reach out to the marginalized, being intentional with it, because I was, 3-point something student, playing sports with all this stuff, but there was nobody else that gave me an educational scholarship. So, I'm forever grateful to TSU for just reaching out, providing that opportunity, because I took that, came to college, and they were like, you're good at math. And, I used to sell candy in school. I could sell Snickers, Twix. So I've always been a hustler. I saved up $10,000 in 1 year selling candy.
Man.
Yeah.
Man,
so,
you was the Rick Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross of it, now. Franklin Saint out this mug of candy.
Little candy bar. Because look,
everybody 10 grand. God, dog.
Everybody was selling weed. Everybody was selling stuff that was going to get them in trouble. I was like, man, I'm not trying to get in no trouble. And look, they had just the previous year, they had said that candy bars were illegal to sell in California because it was going to make people fat, and they didn't want to, so I was like, oh, so this was my way of, okay, well, this is my hustle now. I'm going to sell the candy because the kids are already addicted to it, and you guys are going to take it away. I was like, nah, I'm going to provide that service to y'all. So I'm going to let y'all want to deal with the illegal drugs, you can have that, but I'm going to deal with this candy. Make my money that way. And so when I was in college, it was like, you learn accounting and you're like, oh, this is the numbers behind the stuff I was already doing.
Right.
And so when I went, to corporate America, I got a job after that. It was like, okay, I'm just building on all these experiences. And you learn that patience is what really gets you there, because if you're just focused on the destination, you're missing out on all the individual lessons that once you get there, you can make $1 million when you're 19, 20, but how many people who made that million, they lost it, never got it back? That's always been my goal, is if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna keep going, not going, just lose it all. Cause that's a feeling I don't want to deal with that feeling.
Man, I've been in that feeling. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple Cold Stone Creameries, had to shut them bad boys down, and the duplex that I had up for collateral, lost that, lost my car, lost everything, man, because of them ice cream stores. So I've been down before, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But by the grace of God, I'm back up.
Yeah.
Thank
God, you know for sure.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah. So okay, so with the BBB, that's how I learned about the tour that Najah was doing. So I heard about that immediately. I was just like, hey, Najah, I'm with it. Whatever you need, I'm there, because I had done my tour the year before that. So what people don't know is, like, I was already doing my little small journey on a complete solo tip. I was driving my car. I think I went to like 30 cities or something like that also. But I was driving my car, and I was driving Uber to make the gas money to get around, because I had no money.
That's dope. Nah, that's dope, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say I'll be loving you, man. Like, how many people think like that? You're a young single man. I don't know what you consider single. I consider anybody ain't married single.
I don't have,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're a young single man, and you just was like out here driving around the country, which is it's the kind of stuff I be telling my sons. Like, y'all seen other countries. Y'all see that it don't cost that much. Y'all the kind of people, because the stuff y'all do and y'all good at is remote. So you could just dip and go to another country for a couple months, and then dip and go to another country, and then dip and go. Like, if you don't have no like roots down nowhere, or a house and that kind of stuff you got to take care of, why would you not? I got a partner right now, CJ. Mm-hmm. He was in Atlanta, and they try to raise the rents on him crazy to like $2,000 a month or something, right? Ooh. And he was like, hold up, I wasn't paying no $2,000. He was like, I could probably do something different with $2,000 a month. Yeah. So you know what he did? He took all of his stuff. He said, screw it, you can have your apartment. He took all of his stuff out. Him and his wife, they put that stuff up in storage, and they are traveling around the entire country and finding dope Airbnbs that they can rent for $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right. So they done lived in all of these different places, and they doing that all year long. And I think it's the dopest thing ever, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they could just go to the next place, experience this city for a while, go experience the next city for a while. It's gangster to me. Yeah. I think it's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of thing is what you did. And I just think people should see the world more, like take those risks, jump out there. I love the fact that you were financing it with the Uber. That's gangster to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got my car, just turn the app on,
man.
Pick up a few people, get the gas to go to the next city. That's dope, man.
Well, you couldn't pick up the people. You can only pick up food to deliver. So it's like,
I use the Uber Eats. Okay, use the Uber Eats. Okay, but still. Yeah, that's dope, man.
It was cool. I got to see LeBron James, like his school. I got to go to Michael Jackson's old his old house where he grew up.
You went to Cary? Okay.
Yeah, saw a couple Magic Johnson statues in Michigan.
Dang, you was just going,
did the whole East Coast, and then I came back. Then I went to California, and I did it was like a contest for, I think it's called Techstars. They had come to California. It was at Vector 90s at Nip Spot, and we had won a competition. Because now I'm like a part of something called Charge Help, where like it's a Uber for EV stations, like charger ports.
Right.
So in California, they're trying to make all the cars electric, but the charging spots, they keep like disappearing, like they don't work. And so we create like an app to where
you said they keep disappearing,
or they just stop working.
Oh, got you.
So like if you go on the app, you go to it, but then it doesn't work. So at that point, it's never kept up because there's never been anybody to profit off of keeping it up. And so the app was a solution to solve that. So it's like an Uber thing to where the mechanics that can fix it, they're like, oh, let me go fix this one. Let me go fix this one. So we helped fix that problem, and we won a nice sum. And now like my partner in that, Camille Terry, she's doing a whole lot of good things out of that.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's
really dope, man.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. That's why I said good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So you just an entrepreneur all the way around,
man. That's so it's always been. I couldn't stand corporate America.
I'm telling you, Mount Rushmore of candy sellers. I've never heard nobody get 10 grand off the candy sales in a year, man. That's a lot of candy. Yeah, you was out here, you was moving weight. I was 10 grand profit.
Profit. That's not revenue. I was making over 100 a day. Yeah.
Who was you selling to? Like, they was really out here addicted to that sugar. That's crazy.
Yeah, I
used to sell candy. I had a squad and everything. I had cats. I re them up. I give everybody the bag. They go out, start selling. You know what I'm saying? I come back. We had to get one dude out because he was getting high on his own supply. You know what I mean? He got rappers under his bed. Yeah. Like, I was going on that level, but golly, man, 10 grand.
Well, I tried to do that. I tried to leverage people, but like you said, they start eating it.
Yeah.
If you're not like enforcing your will, like, hey, no, you got, and it was like, no, let me just do this solo. Cause
you out here fronting people and they eating the candies, like they don't even want to make the money.
Yeah.
That's what the dude said. Man, it's too hard, man. Like, I was like, it's candy. You just say, hey man, I got candy. Man, it's too hard, man. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to break it. We had to break his legs, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing, man.
Yeah, so
I'm just playing, man. No, but that's awesome, man. Like everything you talking about being a hustler and everything, that's really gangster, man. I didn't even realize that about you, man.
Yeah.
Like that's even okay. I put another mark in my favorite CPA book. Yeah.
Well, because finance was actually what I really liked. That's why I was paying attention to Dr. Boyce Watkins anyway. So I was in corporate America, and like, man, I mean, they gave me all the tools I need to be successful where I'm at now. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. I never say anything bad about them because without them, I may not be here.
That's real.
But they worked me like no way.
No.
Like woo, past 12, past 1 in the morning. It was, I mean, it was bad. I got these gray hairs. Like my dad didn't get gray hair until he was in his 40s. So like I'm getting these at 23. I'm just like, man,
it's too much.
Too much. 3 years I was out.
Right. That's what's crazy, man. And that's what's so interesting about you, man. It's like the fact that you just going. Like I think a lot of people can get the fact you educate yourself And then when you was ready to do something, you did it. You put yourself out there. And I don't know. I don't mean to just keep making this a give CJ his flowers episode, but that's just real, man. Like, I really do appreciate you. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand. I look at you as like somebody who could be an example for others, right? It's like, see what CJ's doing. He went play ball. It ain't like he was an athlete. He got his degree. He started his own business. He's young. He's out here. And here's the thing. Every person that I know that's a client of yours, that I know, they love you as a CPA too, like as their CPA, right? So yeah, man, I don't know, Doc. I look up to you from that standpoint, bro. Hell. But back to this stuff about Louisville, man. I'm gonna stop throwing these flowers across her.
No, but it's real though, because I feel like my dad, he gave me, information, gave me a platform. I took it. Nipsey gave me one. You gave me one. Like the people who create these platforms, I just take advantage of them. That's
exactly.
That's it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of getting jealous, instead of getting mad at somebody else, instead of like trying to build your own platform, you recognize that there's a platform for you and you build on top of it. You get what I'm saying? Which is what the platform's for. It's the whole point. It's a platform. A platform is a stage. A stage is a place for you to present yourself to a larger audience. Like, that's what it is. I'm over here just trying to have the Black Bitcoin Billionaire Festival. You dig? So every person, every person that come up, they can present themselves to the same audience, and we ain't letting no slouches on stage. You got to have your mixtape already got to be banging in them streets. You feel what I'm saying? Before we start presenting you to people. But that's how it is, man. Like, that's what these platforms are for. And I think what Miss Najah has been able to do with her doing these tours, it's the same thing, right? Ms. Najah provides a platform for people to come out in each location to learn. She gives them a little bit of Bitcoin. She teaches them about what's going on. She's trying to free the people. She's the Harriet Tubman. She calls herself Little Harriet, even though, that's my favorite. Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, some of my favorite people in history, man. One of my favorite people in history. So, Ms. Najah definitely up her. If she's the new Harriet, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I love what she was doing. She came to Louisville, and it happened to be at a spot that my partner, he's a co-owner of. And I didn't know they was gonna be at the spot till we got to Louisville. You know what I'm saying? And so my partner, and then another one of my partners, the one that was cooking in there in the restaurant.
Yeah, Club Cedar, right?
Yeah, Club Cedar. Yeah, man. Because it used to be like an old like club, well-established club in the Black community, and it kind of shut down. And then the young guys came in and bought it and opened it back up and got it going again. They added some Black entertainment back to the city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, man, it's cool. So yeah, when I went there, I was like, and of course, I'm not from Louisville. That's our little brother to the city I'm from. You know
that's your little. Well, I thought you were from Louisville. Where are you from?
Nah, I'm from Lexington, man.
Lexington. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Lexington. My wife's from Louisville. Gotcha. So we traveled up there. I'm there all the time anyway, because her family's there. But those cats that up there, they went to school with me in UK. But they came to the real city. And got their education. So I knew them guys, and when she came out there, they had like a little festival. They was dancing. They had like the, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff.
Little mascots.
That was
like my favorite piece, because they got the little, it was like a bumblebee and like some little young kid. I was like, they turned up. Hey,
right.
TikTok dances. I don't know them, but like it was lit.
I try to get one of Najah's kids.
Yeah.
I try to get one of them to dance. I said, hey, what dance do? He looked at me and said, no. I said, my bad, bro. My bad. Because at first he was like, they doing it. I said, hey, man, you do it. Do the dance. He looked and said, no. I said, my bad. That was the... I said, my bad. Yeah. I said, from that point forward, I was like, who I'm talking about, the little one.
Yeah, they grown.
He's super grown. Yeah. He always wearing the dress shirt and all that, boy. I said, what you want to be when you grow up? A businessman.
Yep.
I said, all right, you already serious about it. But the great thing about him was, like, he had all his business fit on, but all we had to do was take him to a spot that had a hill. Yeah. And then he rolled straight down the hill like a little kid. I said, I love it. I love it, man, because I love when little kids are little kids, right? Because that's a time that you can roll down the hill like that, and ain't nobody going to look at you crazy. Yeah. Like, I'll still roll down the hill with them, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when you're a little kid, like that's the time to have this kind of fun and creative fun. And I seen him, he had his little business shirt on because Najah said he always dressing up with a tie or like a button down on every day. And then, but that day, boy, that heel was there. It was too tempting. He hit that heel. So yeah, man, he came back up. His shirt was half tucked out. Everything. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's a real little kid, man. But yeah, that tour was really, really fun. Like going to Louisville like that and them coming to our state was really, really dope. And I think she'll definitely be back this year. You traveling with her this year?
Yeah, this time I'll be to all the cities.
You going all the cities?
I'm doing all of them this time, so I'm ready.
Man, well, yeah, man. Hey, yeah, that's gonna be gangster. I can't wait to see y'all come through again.
Yeah. That was cool. Like that was one of my most like favorite events. And then also that food that you supplied, man. Look, I'm grateful for the meal, man. That was
yeah, we did. Yeah, we went to Outback, didn't we?
Yeah.
That
was great because look, so the day before we were in or 2 days before we were in Chicago, and Chicago we had 2 events in one day, and it was like a really like emotional thing because our tour manager at the time, like that was his city.
Yeah,
and, like he has a history, like his brother and the whole city came out to support him.
Right.
And so that next morning we were late. We were like 45 minutes late trying to get to Indianapolis. Basically missed Indianapolis, so we just went to Louisville. And because of COVID, everything was closed. So like we was hungry. I was hungry. It took like 3 hours to get food because we had to Uber Eats it from like a whole other neighborhood. And then, so just eating at Outback out, we were all just like, man, we get to eat
a meal. Yeah, man,
a real good meal.
Hey, thank the Lord for that, man.
Yeah,
you know, he provides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was nice. Regal was there too. Regal came
Black
through.
Regal and Reddy was there also.
Yep, Reddy. Yep. Regal and Reddy. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was I don't know, it was really good. I just look forward. I always look forward to when I can be in the same place as Black Bitcoin Billionaire folk.
Yeah,
for real. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Speaking of Reddy, I know he's a developer like you. So when did you know, like, because I know you've been in this since 2012, 2013. When did you just know that Bitcoin was the focal point?
When I read the white paper.
Oh wow. It was that quick.
That quick. I read the white paper, saw freedom, and told my partner the next morning, you're going to have to like handle our business because I'm going to focus on Bitcoin.
Wow.
Literally, the day I read the white paper.
Wow. And that was what, 2012, 2013?
2013. I don't know the dates. I don't like dates. Because that's why, to be honest, that's why I take so many pictures. Because it allows me to keep track of the time. Like I remember the memory. I have the memory, but I don't know the exact time. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I don't keep track of that because I don't know what day and what's night because I'm always up.
That's the accounting to me. Look, what day? What was the timestamp? What was like all of that?
So I always used to say that was 2012 until I went on Facebook and saw a picture of the day that I actually learned about Bitcoin because I took a picture outside of the VC's office that I learned it at.
Okay.
That was in 2011.
I thought so. That makes more sense to me.
So I saw the picture and I didn't buy Bitcoin then.
Oh.
Like in 2011, it was like $1.
Yeah.
Like when he told me, because I didn't look at the white paper then.
Yeah.
Like we just kind of brushed it off, like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like then fast forward, and I remember there was a high, and I put some article up that showed the high, but I don't even remember what it was, what article it was, or what the high was. I just remember I was like, Bitcoin's still around. I was like, okay, let me go check this out. So I go check it out. It changed everything, bro.
Wow.
Changed everything. Because I went and actually looked at the white paper and I was like, man, and I stayed up that whole night, like looking up cryptography, trying to understand like Merkle trees, trying to figure out like anything I possibly could. How can I build it? Who has a wallet? What is this? Like going through all of these different things. And man, this to me represents freedom.
Yeah.
And I just went in at that day. You know what I'm saying? Took some money I had, went and got me some at like a McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Found a McDonald's, it was a Starbucks, McDonald's or something. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, I don't know, man. That's just how it went. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tried to study the Merkle trees and study the SHA 256s.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this is that's the end of my education right there when it comes to the tech side. But the finance side, I understand the finance side and the business model aspect. I think that's the biggest piece to this is the business model. That was one thing that Nip had told me a lot was like the business model. You got to learn you have to really learn how business works from A to Z, like the whole process, because the automation of the technology all of a sudden is going to change the process. So when the process change, you have to build businesses and business models based off of the change in terms of what it will be, not where it's at right now.
Right.
And so that's what I've been doing this whole time is building my business according to the blockchain. So I had a podcast before this one. So this is like my 4th podcast series. I had one called The Process of Re-Engineering the Process, where I talk about first I had to learn the information, then I had to record it, then I had to edit it, then I had to market it, then I had to have like a monetization like platform to where people could actually, pay me. Then I got to execute on it, and I got to fix the whole process and then start all over. And in order to get that whole process down, like it's a process to get each step of the process down.
Right.
And the people who started rocking me back then, like I've never raised my rates for any of my clients in terms of like hourly. So there's clients that hopped on at the very beginning that got on at 25 an hour. They're still 25 an hour. Because I told them, I was like, look, with the way that, you got in, you were one of the people who supported me first. So with that, this is your way of always being locked in at that rate.
That's that love. Yeah.
That's love. And so I look at the way that the infrastructure of a lot of these crypto companies is where they incentivize you to get in early. It's the same type of business model. And by me investing in the Bitcoin, with some of that percentage that they paid me back then, I look at the rise of that and I'm like, I don't need to charge you more because inflation doesn't exist for me because I invest in Bitcoin. So if there's an inflation, it only benefits me. So I've been using these business models on top of the technology for some time now.
Dope, man.
Yeah.
It's dope. Yeah, it's really dope. I like how you grandfather folk in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's most capitalists ain't doing that.
Yeah. I'm not really a capitalist.
My price is going up. You a capitalist. You sold $10,000 worth of candy, bro. You're a capitalist. Like you saw a market, you saw a need, you put your capital up and bought the things to fill the need. You're a capitalist. Like the capitalism that we have in the United States would make everybody think they're not really a capitalist.
Okay. Okay, I get that.
It's crony capitalism, ain't capitalism.
Yeah.
Like markets should be completely free and open to everybody to participate. And the reason why a lot of, especially Black folk, don't really like capitalism in that form is because we don't get the chance to participate in a lot of things, right? They hold us out of stuff. So of course you're going to be like, nah, I don't fool with capitalism. Yeah, you don't fool with this version of capitalism that we got in this country.
Yeah.
It's straight crony, right?
Yeah.
It's like you don't have the same opportunities and access as everybody else. Right, it just because of the circles that you in, just because of how what group of people you were born into, right? What neighborhood you were born into.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing, once you get a head start on, it's hard to overcome it. So a lot of people are like, man, when you get out of that. So for me, it's like, can we change the capitalism model? Because it's still capitalism, but can you let more people eat?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the Bitcoin capitalist. There we go. Like in the new financial system, I'm a complete capitalist.
It's like potluck capitalism. That's what I always call it. Like, can everybody benefit? If everybody has access, then everybody has an opportunity. Then it comes down to who got the most talent, right?
Yeah.
And who got the most work ethic. Really, it's really what it goes down to, because people can have all kinds of talent. I tell my kids all the time, like, there's formula for success is a formula of desire and work. Period.
Man, say that one more time.
The formula for success equals desire times work.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If you don't work and you put in zero work, you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
If you don't have it's really desire is drive, right? I would say drive. If you don't have any ambition or drive or desire, you're probably not going to succeed. Like, so if you put a zero, you know the math. If you put a zero in any of that equation on either side of either one of those, is success is zero. Your success is going to be zero.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. Like they think you can just have all the drive and ambition to tell everybody, this is what we going to do. But you got to realize the execution got to be there.
Yeah.
And based on the amount of execution, it don't have to be your work. That's what people don't understand. It's not necessarily your work. It's just work. Like if you can get others, if you can inspire others to work and you have that drive and they can drive and take your vision and do it, like, there you go. Now you have that success. And I think that's what it is. Like that drive and desire requires a vision for you to even have it. That's the whole point. What are you driving towards? Right? What is your desire? What are you desiring? That's that vision. That's you seeing something that you don't have that you want to be able to achieve. And so that D in that equation, so it's like S equals D times, D times W. That to me, like I was talking to my kids one day and it just came to me, and that to me just solves and sums up a whole lot of it. Everybody's like, what's the keys to success? You got to work, you got to have some drive.
Yeah.
Like you got to really want it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, like you have, so look, think about it. If the drive is 1, and your work is 100, you only gonna get success of 100 because you did a whole lot of work. So you achieve something. But if you can get your drive to be, 5 and the work to be 55, right? Now all of a sudden, what's that? 275. So it's like, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing, man. It's like, can you get your drive and your work to a point where it's at the highest level, and that's going to determine how much success you wind up having out of whatever it is you're trying to go after. I don't care what it is. If you're trying to hoop better, like it's drive and work, right? It's Kobe Bryant, right? It's like everybody talks about the Mamba mentality, but all of these great athletes, they do stuff you wouldn't be willing to do.
Yeah,
I be seeing Floyd Mayweather working out at 3 o'clock in the freaking morning.
Yeah.
Still, like he's still going to the gym, getting his reps in. Why is he undefeated? He got drive to be the best, and then he puts the work in behind it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care what it is. It could be that. It could be your schoolwork, like how you get an A, right? How do you it doesn't matter what it is, whatever field you're trying to be in, success is a product of freaking desire and work, man. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
So
that's been the motto. Work, put in the work, never stop. And it's funny because I remember when Clubhouse first started happening, like when people started seeing how so many people were asking tax questions, and the amount of type of people were there's a lot of attention on my end. There's a bunch of people who were like, man, I'm about to go get my CPA, I'm gonna go be an accountant. And I was just like, you know what, go for it, because less than 1% of CPAs are Black. And so the goal has always been to uplift or increase the amount of CPAs in the Black community, because if we're not being taught finances in school and we don't have CPAs that are teaching us, a lot of people in the BBB didn't even know what a CPA was. And it was just like, man, let's start at the very bottom. First, an accountant, I'm just keeping score of whatever's going on. I'm just a scorekeeper in business. But the best scorekeepers can explain to you what's going on the playing field. So, if somebody, they steal a ball in basketball, I have to be able to say, oh, that's a steal. If somebody gets a rebound, I have to comprehend that if it hits the rim and you catch it, that's a rebound. It's the same thing in business, where if you spend something, that's an expense, or, if you go out of bounds, that's a violation. You're not supposed to, commingle your funds, whatever it is.
Right.
And so for me, just to have that platform to be appreciated was cool. But then to see the amount of people that were like, hey, I want to get into this field, even though it may have been like 200 or 300 that were saying it because they thought it was easy, and they had that like, oh man, CJ's making money, I'm gonna go ahead and do that also. And they realized this was to be quite honest with you, there was never a point where it wasn't a part of the process. Like my whole life, because you have to have a degree, you have to have 150 credit hours,
right?
You have to have 30 hours of advanced accounting, you have to pass all 4 parts of the CPA exam. And so just to get there, in order for me to get to college, I had to go through high school. In order for me to, even you have to have 2 years of experience under CPA. So the 3 years I was at corporate America were part of that. So there was never a piece of the process that wasn't aligned with this. Right. So if somebody just wants to start it now, go for it. But I've had 30 some years of putting into this one moment. So it's
Right.
just cool when it's, it's there. I want more people in the CPA realm, but I really want people to understand that that wasn't something that just came off the whim, or else you'd have a whole bunch of other people who were doing the same thing. Because you see it on Instagram, all the little, the TikTok, all the accountants and the tax experts. But come on Clubhouse, let's talk.
Right. Right. Now that's real. That's because what's so funny about Clubhouse? Clubhouse will out a person.
Yeah, quick.
Like you get on stage talking reckless, like people real quick know that you ain't talking about nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you ain't really talking about nothing. If you
And
get
Google
on stage,
quick. Google so quick. You say something wrong, 30, 40 people Google it real quick. Nah, you're out, done.
Yeah.
X.
Yeah. That's real, man. That's the beautiful thing about Clubhouse, man. Like it's the no cap, it's the cap in this no cap zone. Because people cap all the time. Because it's easy to get up there and say something. But then you start realizing like you start losing credibility the more you talk sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for real. So you got to be able to stay 10 toes down on what it is that you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why I loved it. Because it was like, oh, let's see who else put in the work like I have.
Yeah.
Those sleepless nights. I mean, you talk about work like with Mayweather. So I used to, be a typical person, wake up at 6, 7,
Right.
go to sleep at 10 or 11. And that'd be my day. I might study for 3 or 4 hours. I didn't cut it. No, I switched my whole life. I wake up at 4 a.m, study for 2 hours, eat, sleep, everything became regimented. So what I was doing was 12 to 4, whether AM or PM, that would be my sleep time.
Right.
And then the other time I'm always up. So it'd be, 4 hours sleep, 8 hours up, 4 hours sleep, 8 hours on, because that was the best way for me to learn.
Right.
So my whole life changed just to be able to get the license. Everything.
He said everything.
Everything. No going out, drinking stop, partying stop. Like even women, like I had to really just at that moment, I was like, ladies, I can't deal with you. Like I'm in super grind mode. And it was rough because it's like you're used to a certain type of popularity or a certain type of lifestyle. In corporate America, I'm the young dude making money. I'm a Black guy. Now all of a sudden, you study and you tired. You're not in that limelight. But like you said, that patience and that discipline and just knowing you're gonna make it, that helps.
That drive, man.
Yeah.
Like that drive, like I don't think people understand what drive is. Drive is like through it all.
Yeah.
Because you're not driven if you just stop, if something stops you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Drive is just like I'm gonna do it until I get it.
Yeah.
Like what 50 say, get rich or die trying. Like that's that drive. You know what I mean?
Entrepreneur, period. That's the whole concept. I quit
my
job. I was like, look, I'm done. Now it's been 6 years. That's when I started growing my hair, was when I left the corporate America job.
For real?
Yeah.
Dang, that's what's up.
Yes,
because it's long. Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur on my own with no paychecks, none of that. For almost 6 years now.
It's something about like eating what you kill.
Yeah.
Like, it's something about it.
Yeah.
Like it's different when somebody's bringing you the food, right? When they're giving you the money, they out here killing and they just breaking you off a little bit. But when you got to go off and get your own, like you gotta have drive, or you'll just quit and go back to allowing somebody else to feed you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have drive. The thing for me though, from a spiritual standpoint though, for real, CJ, it's like the more faith I have in me being able to get it, it's like the you know how you say you eat what you kill? The eating part comes from places I've never even thought about it. Like one of the biggest checks I've ever gotten, individual checks I've ever gotten in my entire life, I didn't go get it. Like somebody came to me. Yeah. Offered me, you know what I'm saying? They was like, hey, Lamar, hey, out of the blue. Matter of fact, people don't understand this. Like the Breakfast Club interview, that was out of the blue. Matter of fact, if I didn't check an email that I never checked no more, it's like an old email. I just happened to go in there, that's I'm gonna go check his email. A bunch of spam in there, all the kind. That's why I don't check it no more because it's like jacked up. You know, got so many subscriptions on it. And I look on there and it was like Breakfast Club opportunity. And I'm thinking, oh, this is some more spam. No. Yeah. They found that email somewhere and contacted me. You get what I'm saying? Wow. Like, but that's out of the blue. It's not like I was like, hey man, let me try to. It's like, it feels like the more you then it's just me from a faith position, right? It's like the more faith you have in yourself to go get it, you start realizing how much it wasn't you that was getting it in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like all I had to do was plant and water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God get an increase to me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. So for me, my only obligation is to give.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get it. He's gonna give it to me, but God give it to me to give to other people,
Exactly.
to give it out, right? But if I'm faithful over that, right? If I do good with giving that out, he makes it bigger.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that all in my life. It's like every time he gives me something, if I'm faithful with giving out what he gave me, then what happens is on the flip side, he makes what he give me even bigger. So then I got to give out more. And I just keep proving, like, every time that I'm going, whatever you give me, I'm going to give to the people, right? Because that's just really what it is. So whether it be education, knowledge, time, whatever, like, because I got it, with much power comes great responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's like so it's like, if I have it, then as much as give, as much as required, the same thing, right? It's like, it's that to me is the reason why I do what I do. So it don't make it, it's not hard for me to give, right? I'm cheerful at giving. And it's not because I know I'm going to get something back. It's because I've already been giving. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's on the flip side. I'm so grateful for what I already had that I'm like, shoot, I want everybody. Like, who in the world, if you love somebody, if you got something good, why would you ever hold that from somebody else?
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We do it all the time, especially in our community. If we know somebody give us the hookup, which is not a good thing, it's stealing from the restaurant owner. But if you know somebody gonna give you the hookup at a Popeyes, right? You tell your partner, hey, go up there and holler at such and such, they're gonna give you the hookup. Because that's love. And then what do we even call it? Hey man, he showed me some love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you have something that is good, so when the whole Bitcoin situation, what Miss Najah's even doing by her giving her time and going across the country and educating people, like, Bitcoin, when I saw it was something that was good and it was from a freedom perspective, of course I'm gonna share it. Because if I don't share it, like, what kind of person am I? Yeah. Like, who am I to hoard up something that is amazing? Yeah. It's like, that's that old, that's a different mentality. You feel me? Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like, if I have it to give, then let me give it. Because I'm gonna be taken care of anyway. I tell people that all the time. Yeah. Like, listen, I really and truthfully don't worry about where my food gonna come from. I know that if it's a slow month or something, and I know that I've been doing my part, like, I ain't just sitting around. I've been doing my part, something will come through. And a lot of times it's in an angle or a way that I never would have thought. It pushes me in a totally different direction. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, who knows what's gonna happen from, like, we are, I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the show, but when we get to Miami, and I don't want to date this podcast, but when we go to Miami, documentary. Did I tell you that the documentary is gonna be? I think I said it outside the show.
Yeah, that was outside the show. You good? Yeah.
Yeah, but a documentary is gonna come and film us, a major documentary. And what I want to do is be able to highlight Black Bitcoin Billionaire, right? I want to be able to highlight the people that are in it, so they can see that, number one, there are more melanated people in it than what you usually see on these flyers and posters, and who they put in the top list. Like, that stuff is crazy to me, right? So we want to elevate our voices. Yeah. But who knows what comes from this documentary for everybody in it? Yeah. Right? It's like, they're not just doing it on Black Bitcoin Billionaire. It's like, we're part of a greater documentary, but the fact that we will have a segment in there actually puts us into the category and gets us to a different mind state and level. I haven't seen many Bitcoin documentaries that have an African-American, like, featurette in it. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen African, like, they do African, right?
We don't feature new Black American.
Yeah, we don't, exactly, because Black Americans get left out a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It just is what it is. Like Africans, a lot of times they'll look at Africa and be like, oh, there's such an amazing frontier there. That's like all of this growth and the youngest population. But then when you get to the Black folk here that are African-American, Black Americans, it's like, they don't really highlight them as much. Nobody does, right? Like, media don't really highlight them for positive things. Let's just be real. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, especially in the tech industry, there's a lot of African developers that get pushed to the top from a tech perspective in this country. Right.
Yeah, Reggie Middleton, he was the one who created the patent for DeFi, right?
Yeah. And so he got it. Like, can't nobody dispute that there is a patent out there that says exactly what he's been saying this whole time.
Yeah.
So you can't just.
And you create like the first wallet, right? The first
one of them, yeah, like one of the first
Bitcoin
Bitcoin wallets on iOS, right? On just period. It was on iOS. People don't understand it. It was on iOS, Android, and a Chrome extension, right? Out the gate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's like we don't like I'm getting more of that elevation now. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? People, because I'm able to speak and people see that I know what I'm talking about. Right. And then like, but Reggie, he still gets like ostracized because, you know, we came from like the entire space was different back in the day. Mm-hmm. Everybody was trying to do all kinds of different crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. Right. And then what we wind up getting is a lot of these financial focused people who they're not trying to build nothing because they're not technically minded. So they just want to be like, okay, number go up and that's all we're going to fool with. And how did y'all not see it? But it's like, as an engineer, you're going to play around with stuff. You're going to see, okay, this thing works like this. Let me try to build something that works like this. Right. And so that's why I don't go too hard on the people that try to create stuff. Yeah. Right. Like, but once you realize that that's whack, then you got to count, like with the Ethereum situation, like how I always talk about it. Like, once you realize what it is, it's like, yeah, you got to kind of like, you got to tell it like it is on that too. Right. Yeah. But I don't really like give it to people because think about it, like Litecoin, all of these other things, they have been used as testing grounds for stuff on Bitcoin. Yeah. And so if they didn't exist, we would have to be testing on, like, to me, it's just like, just let things be what they are. Let the engineers do what they're going to do. However they're going to test stuff, they figure stuff out. Like, how do you know if something breaks it unless you figure it out, right? Unless you try to figure it out. Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. So, yeah, I think back to what we were talking about, though, I think that a lot of times we don't get, like, there's not enough platforms to elevate Black Americans, right? And the great thing about Black Bitcoin Billionaire is that it is extremely diverse. It's probably the most diverse club on Clubhouse, I say. Yeah. I think we ain't up with maybe 40 or 50% Black, to be honest with you. Out of that 150,000 people, like, it's all kinds of people. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's really cool, right? Because people would just assume, like, oh, you got 150,000 Black people. Nah. Right? No, it's like, all races. Nah. Yeah, it's all races because the biggest part is that's a testament to our mods and the ability for us to educate, period. Yeah. It don't matter if you Black, white, or red or whatever. Like I always say, Black Bitcoin Billionaire is for everybody. It's just run by Black people. If you have a problem with that, that's on you. Yeah, that's like Mexican food. If they're like, hey, I'm going to go pick up some Mexican food, well, why has it got to be called Mexican? Because that's the type of food that it's served by, so that you kind of understand the flavor, you understand? So right. What's wrong with, Black Bitcoin Billionaire? And it's an aspirational thing, like Black Bitcoin Billionaire, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know, man. Yeah, very interesting situation, man. I just got my trademark and it's called 10 Bitcoins makes a billion. So it's a double entendre because you got 10 Bitcoins is actually a billion Satoshis. Right. But then it's also aspirational, like you said, because it's like, if you have 10 Bitcoins, now that's the new status symbol of a billionaire. Right. The fiat don't matter. So right. For anybody who's listening, this would be the first time I ever said it in public, but yeah. 10 Bitcoin is a billion. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. 10 Bitcoins makes a billion. So yeah. And also I saw that you had read that book, Bitcoin and the American Dream. Yeah, I checked. You pointed right to it. Yeah, I checked it out. I came to DC. It was great to see the diversity on that panel too, because I was in the crowd and I was like, man, I see Lamar, I see Charlene, like, because I understand the politics and I understand Jimmy Song, right? Man, like, think about it. You got like our that group was so diverse. You got the Northeast liberal with Pete Rizzo. Mm-hmm. You got the down South conservative with Gary Leland, and he's a baby boomer from an age perspective. Yeah. You got Jimmy Song, who's more like libertarian conservative Korean dude from Texas. Like you got you got CJ Wilson, who was an athlete, like Cy Young winning pitcher. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you have, and then you got Miss Charlene, who used to be a regulator, so she got the regulator side. And then you got me, who I don't know, I'm just a hustler. You know what I'm saying? The developer, Bitcoin OG. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you got me, and then you got Amanda, and then you got Annalise, whose mom is Senator Loomis. Mm-hmm. But Annalise, in her own right, runs an incredible cattle farm. Like she's a cattle rancher. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So you got the farmer, like that group, man. Are you? Yeah. Oh, and Amanda, she does stuff with like the finance, like she's a finance type person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you look at that group of people, it was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was just nuts, bro. Like that was a crazy, diverse group of individuals coming together to write a book. So it's like one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was one of the hardest ones from a standpoint of trying to get out of the thinking of writing a book the way you would think you write a book. But it was probably one of the best experiences I had from the standpoint of being with those people, sharing those ideas, and just really getting that idea about Bitcoin is for everyone out to the politicians, right? For the policymakers. So yeah, man.
I think that's going to be a huge stamp later on down the road. That's one of the reasons I want to come out there to support, because I see that that's going to wind up being, in 10 years, that's going to be looked back at as, oh, they made this book. They're the ones who got the politicians involved. You got the diversity. And I think that's actually going to be monumental in the history of Bitcoin. I want to make sure I can support.
The crazy thing is for me, it's just like with everything. I just want to educate on it, right? Because I don't care if the government come on. Let me just be all the way real.
Yeah.
Like I'm the dude who don't give a crap. Like if y'all don't come on, you're gonna miss out. Because I'm not sitting here like in the terms of my man September. I am not booty clapping for the government. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not what I'm doing. But I do want to be able to educate them so they quit having all of this ignorant FUD, and you know what I'm saying? Like look at it this way. Don't make it harder on the next individual and quit spreading fear. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like make sure you saying what's right if you're gonna say it, government.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Because people listen and pay attention.
Right. They pay attention to the government because they think the government is the authority. And it's like it is kind of the authority, but it really ain't. Because really the government ain't nothing but a group of individuals like us.
Yeah.
It's just us that make up the government. So like it's not this big crazy what's the word? Esoteric thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the word. They're humans. They're just humans. Yeah. So just a group of humans that work somewhere. That's really what it is. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Yeah, they try to make it seem like they're like some different, but you know, I met Senator Lummis, so it was just like, oh yeah, you're cool. Even I met Representative Booker.
And the staff is from from Senator Booker. You met Indira, Senator Indira from Mexico. Did you meet her too?
I didn't get a chance to talk to her. I met Charles Booker in Louisville.
Charles Booker.
I switched it up, but through Bitcoin, I'm meeting these politicians and I'm realizing they're really just humans.
Humans. They're other people that are making decisions that are supposed to represent all of us. And what we trying to tell them is maybe you missing some representation by missing Bitcoin. There are people out. Matter of fact, I think it's like 47 million Americans or something have Bitcoin or have some sort of cryptocurrency. That's a lot of people, man. Yeah. It ain't no slouch out here. Like it ain't too less of a people doing it. So yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, this has been awesome.
Yeah. I was about to say, look, that line, I want to go off with your line. I always get it wrong, but I love it. It's the live, love. Look, you gotta say life. Only you can do it, man.
Live love, love life. If you live love, you will love your life.
Man, all of that. How did you come up with that? Like what inspired you for that? And then we'll let them go.
I just started thinking about it, man. Like I've been saying it for a long. My wife made a magnet for me because I've been saying it for a very long time. Yeah. Like it's just like live love, man. Like your life, if you live love, like it goes back to the giving and everything like that, man. So I'm always like, if you live love, you'll love your life because you'll see like the fruits from the seeds of love that you plant. Like people don't understand, like there are going to be negative things and storms that come and hit you and all of that. But believe me, the freaking plants are the freaking growth that comes from you planting seeds of love. When that comes back to you, it's far greater than anything else that's going on in your life, man. I think a lot of people don't understand that reciprocity in that way, to the point where like they feel like the reason why they're negative is because the world's negative to them, but they don't realize they're the ones that planted them negative seeds in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta just live love, love life, man. And I'm telling you, people wonder why I'm happy all the time, walking around smiling and all that. That's why I try to live love every day of my life, man. Period. Yeah.
Well, look, I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for everything you do. Looking forward to seeing you again in Miami, and then, part of this tour, and continue to work with you on the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, man. Appreciate it.
So, man, I loved it, bro. Loved it.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Later.